So this is probably one of my favorite puzzles. It looks really funky, but once it's solved, it'll be like a regular cube. And the reason it's like all funky like this is because the not all of the it's not a very symmetrical puzzle. So for example, you have three main types of pieces. You have the big piece on the edge, which is just used to slice through the whole puzzle, and then you have the big corners and the small edges. So usually when you start, trying to solve a weird puzzle like this, your best bet is to first bring it into a cube and then sort of try to manipulate the pieces, so that you can better understand them. So right now I'm trying to get all these edges like clumped together. And then now I can put these here. So right now all 8 edges are right here. And the top of the puzzle is supposed to alternate big, small, all the way around. And so since there's an even number and it's a power of 2 actually, I can just keep cutting these in half and replacing the spaces in the middle with these bigger edges. So that'll look like this. So there's 4 on the top and bottom. Now there are pairs of 2 on the top and bottom. And now I have to cut them 2 more times. And look at that, we have a square over here on the top and on the bottom. Now, what I want to do first is orient the corners. And this is actually, again, mechanical equivalence comes up in here, where we can view these as a 2 by 2 with the top and bottom being only yellow and white, and we're only allowed to make 180-degree moves on one of the sides. So I've prepared something like that over here. So over here we have the top and bottom as yellow and white. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solve it just by making 180-degree turns and using the top and bottom however I please. So first I'll try to get all of the top as yellow, and now I can do something like this. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so now it's solved. So I'll do the same thing over here. So first let me try to get the top and bottom to be, whoops, all one color, or at least just the corners. And now, I'll actually try to fix these edges first. So hold up, I forgot how this worked. It's been forever since I solved one of these. Oh, would I have to do this? Okay, well that worked, but alright, there we go. And now I can do this thing. And alright, so the bottom is oriented fine, but the top is oriented fine, but the bottom needs some work. So I'll mess up the top and I can do this. And cool, so now all of the corners, let me just fix the middle layer. So now all of the corners have been solved. And now what I can do is I can try to go for the edges, and this cube is notorious for having very tough parity. So I actually don't have a strategy to solve this, but I remember coming across an algorithm that would just cycle a bunch of the edges. I did have an algorithm before, but I sort of forgot that, and so now I just rely on the internet. Yeah, this is one that I don't know how to solve immediately, so it takes some fidgeting to finally get it to work. So that's good. So we have a 3 cycle on the top, and we have parity, or a 3 cycle on the bottom and parity on the top. So I'll just bring the top down here, and I'll try to fix that. So, So I want to switch these two, and I can only do that by swapping two down here. So I could do a setup move that'll swap two that I want to be swapped. Let's just take these two. So I want the green and orange for the white side. And then what do I want on the bottom? I would like the green and the red to swap. So there'll be two swaps here. So that means I can move this here. I could swap these sets. And I could also just do one of those corner swap algorithms. So now I have the green and orange across from each other and the red and green across from each other. So now I can do that. And now hopefully I can just solve the solve that top and bottom as normal. Well, first I actually have to how do I do this again? And okay, now I have two swaps. So I didn't do the proper 3 cycle, but that's fine because that just resulted in two swaps. So I hope I did that wrong. So that's one pair solved. All right, now the entirety of the bottom is solved. And now I just have to do this swap, which is a parity, which is not usually possible. However, this is like a pseudo illegal position, which is parity. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break the rules as we've been treating it before. So in other words, we've been treating these in pairs. So we've treated the big and edge corner as a bigger piece on our 2x2. But now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break them apart and well. So now all of the corners will act independently of the edges on the bottom. So I could just make one turn and then undo everything. Although now we end up with this sort of thing. So the yellow side is good. The red is a, well, it's another 3 cycle. So now there's a 2 swap here and a 2 swap here. So I can, so now those are in position, those are in position. I can do the opposite 2 swap easily, and then the top and bottom are solved. Now I just gotta fix this piece. And it's solved. That took way too long. Alright, thanks for watching.